How would you react if your dog was unable to breathe, run, or live an active and happy life? This is what happens to countless dogs across the globe due to the relentless inbreeding of artificial selection. I hope by the end of this presentation I can persuade you to stop cooperating with breeders, help advocate for stronger regulation of dog breeding, and or hopefully adopt a mutt at a local shelter. I have never owned a purebred dog myself, but my sister has a beautiful German Shepherd named Shiva. Shiva has many genetic issues, including a heart murmur, a steep sloping back, and high anxiety. I wish nothing more than to be able to take these issues away from her, because she doesn't deserve them, and no dog ever does. Breeding dogs to have a certain aesthetic and knowing it could cause health issues is a selfish and immoral operation that humanity started and must put an end to. It's our fault to begin with, and it's our responsibility to make it right. I hope to persuade you that artificially selecting dogs should be highly regulated due to 3 reasons: abuse and neglect, overpopulation, and countless genetic disorders. We've all seen the awful pedo commercial that shows several dogs clips of abused animals, but many of them are the result of unregulated breeding. The first reason breeding dogs should be regulated is because of the high rates of abuse and neglect that come with 2 types of breeding. One type of abusive breeding is known as commercial breeding, or puppy mills. According to PAWS, an animal advocate organization, in one article, roughly 90% of puppies in pet stores come from puppy mills. Pet stores buy from puppy mills who legally store hundreds of dogs in cages to procreate until they no longer can, and then they are often thrown out. The second type of abusive breeding is called backyard breeding. According to an article by the Almost Home Dachshund Rescue Society, last accessed in 2014, a backyard breeder is someone who keeps a number of dogs and either breeds them deliberately or just lets them breed. They usually have no understanding or no concern about the breed standard, genetics, socializing the dogs, and maintaining their health. Private pet owners often do not have the resources or the money, like large commercial breeders or official breeders, and therefore many of the puppies do not get proper care. Whether it's a pet store or the friendly next-door neighbor, breeding for profit is unnatural and leaves thousands of puppies in awful conditions across the globe. The second reason dog breeding should be regulated is because of the overpopulation crisis. There are thousands of puppies waiting to be adopted in shelters. Breeding unnecessarily adds to the growing dog population. According to a PETA article titled Breeders, last accessed in 2015, purebreds make up at least 25% of dogs in animal shelters. The article also states there is no such thing as a responsible breeder, because for every puppy who is produced by any breeder, an animal awaiting adoption at an animal shelter loses his or her chance at finding a home and will be euthanized. Not only does dog breeding cause neglect and abuse, but also kills thousands of unwanted dogs simply because of the way it looks, which have been mercilessly engineered for years. The last reason why dog breeding should be regulated is because of the inheritance of genetic disorders. Dog breeding changes physical characteristics of dogs. According to Dr. Con Elegans, dog breeder researcher, in the article 100 Years of Breed Improvement, the Basset Hound has gotten lower, has suffered changes to its rear leg structure, has excessive skin, vertebrae problems, and excessively large ears. The Bull Terrier, which many remember as the lovable Target dog mascot, now has a mutated skull, a thick abdomen, supernary teeth, and here's a photo of a before and after. Dog breeding also forces the inheritance of unseen physiological disorders. Elegant also goes on to say the pug is an extremely brachycephalic breed and has all the problems associated with that trait, which include high blood pressure, heart problems, and low oxygenation. Even as much as breeders love the English Bulldog, the proportions it has genetically inherited make it almost impossible to mate or deliver its litter, making the breed almost completely reliant on humans to even exist. Here's another before and after photo. Many people don't understand that every breed of dog falls under one species, but the difference between a Chihuahua and a Great Dane only show how relentlessly and mercilessly we've exercised artificial selection. In conclusion, while dog breeding is beneficial to farmers and police officers, it must be regulated due to the abuse and neglect, overpopulation, and genetic disorders that many dogs die and suffer from. If the government could intervene and put in a policy to stop breeders who don't have the best interests of the dog in hand from producing more dogs, there would be less of this issue. To say the least, we're lucky that my sister's dog, Shiva, is in our lives. But how lucky is she to have humans playing God with her species? Thank you. Yeah, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Cutting it too close.